Even though we say there are two infrastructures for wireless, those two being ad hoc or peer-to-peer, same thing, and infrastructure, which has central devices, there really is one other, although we don't classify it in the same group usually as those two, but it is a point-to-point wireless. Typically we have some very, very directional type of antenna. This could be on a Navy ship somewhere, so that you have ship-to-shore communication. Or in this case, we might have, here's a main office and a branch office, and let's say these are across the street from each other, and you can't just run a cable across the street, because if you did, the city would have some trouble with the city or something. So you can't just run your own cables going across the street. So you might have to put up something like this, and I have seen this in action. As in fact, I was at a college campus not too long ago where all the main campus was on one side of the street, but they had one house that had some offices, some central campus offices in it, and so they had to use a point-to-point wireless link here in order to be able to connect that building into the main campus. This, by the way, is also called a bridge. Now, we have used the word bridge in other videos. We used the word bridge with the WAP, or the wireless access point, and we said that the wireless access point is a bridge to a wired network. In other words, it's a bridge for wireless devices to join a wired network. In a sense, they have the same meaning here, but in a sense, these are different meanings. So when you hear the word bridge, you kind of have to understand the context in which it's being used. So this is a slightly different meaning of bridge than with a WAP. But you should be aware of point-to-point wireless communications. These often are microwave links or some other, but microwaves are nice because they go in these nice straight lines. Now, one other thing I want to mention here, these do have to have line of sight communication. They have to be lined up very carefully. However, I want to mention that it is not really just line of sight. There's a football-shaped zone, and if I were to draw, it might go up and back down, and then down and back up. And it's called the Fresnel Zone, or sometimes Fresnel Zone. This was named after the guy who did the math for it. You may have heard of Fresnel Lenses. Fresnel lenses are used in lighthouses to direct the light out over the ocean and get it farther away and make it more visible. Well, it's the same math here. So this football-shaped zone here has to be not occluded. In other words, if I have a tree or a building going up into this football-shaped zone, more than 40% of that zone is occluded, I will lose communication. It has to be 60% free. So there is the Fresnel zone that we have to also take into consideration.